Hello and welcome to this new course, Mastering Complexity. And in this lecture of this section on overview, we're going to give you a quick overview of what is mastering complexity, right? So the purpose of this section is to provide you that overview of how to master complexity. And in this, we will begin our journey in this lecture by talking about what do we mean by mastering complexity. Mastering complexity or complexity could have different definitions, but the place where we have taken this whole concept, which is Johnson and Johnson, we will explain to you what do they mean by mastering complexity. So what do you think? What do you understand by the term mastering complexity? What's your thinking? Thoughts come to your mind when you would say that I would like to master complexity? Any thoughts? I'm taking this definition from Johnson and Johnson. When I was there heading operations and contract manufacturing and export, we had Johnson and Johnson had started a wonderful initiative called Standards of Leadership, in which they had defined what are the standards of good leadership from good leaders. What do they expect in terms of competencies and behaviors? And one of the competencies was what you see here as mastering complexity. And we went through a whole process of getting ourselves measured, coached, guided, improving on how to master complexity. And this was a worldwide initiative. So let's look at how did we define in Johnson and Johnson about mastering complexity, and that might resonate with you. The first thing they said is that to master complexity, you must be able to thrive in uncertain circumstances. And what does that mean? We will talk about it. And in that, you should avoid overreacting to the stressful situations. The uncertainty will definitely cause you stress because you don't know what to do. And in that situation, you will have to think through a variety of ways, think through in variety of ways to survive as well as thrive in those uncertain circumstances. Second behavior that said defined as a part of mastering complexity was being able to effectively analyze situations before making decisions, not rushing and making decisions, but analyzing situation and effectively analyzing situations. So that was the second element of mastering complexity. Having analyzed, they said you should be able to make these decisions in timely manner. You should not continue to either overanalyze and get into what is called analysis paralysis or procrastinate. Hey, the situation is so difficult, let me sleep over it. So they said you should be able to make decisions in a timely manner. And since leaders lead teams, they said you must be able to communicate the complex ideas in a manner that can be easily understood. So these were the four dimensions of mastering complexity, which I am taking from there. Right? And this is what we will work on in improving and mastering complexity. So the question is, what do you understand by thriving in uncertain circumstances? How do we define uncertain circumstances? And what do we mean by thriving in uncertain circumstances? Any thoughts? See, the uncertainty comes from basically not knowing what you need to do and how you need to do. If you are clear, as you see in this picture, if you are clear on what to do and how to do, then it's a simple thing for you, right? And the thing starts becoming complicated, then complex, and then get chaotic. If as that clarity reduces on what you need to do and how you need to do. And thriving in uncertain circumstances mean whether you are able to operate comfortably and make the right decisions and grow, not only survive and build your business and yourself in this complex situations where things are unclear about what to do and how to do. And if you can do that, you can say, yes, I am about to start thriving in uncertain circumstances. And this thriving in uncertain circumstances is a relative thing. You might have done in the past on a certain uncertain situation, and you might be facing a more complex or more unclear situation. And in that, are you able to make right decisions, grow your business, grow yourself, build your team? That's where you would say, if I'm able to do that, then I say I'm able to thrive in uncertain circumstances. Let's look at the second dimension of effectively analyzing situations before making decisions. So, what do you understand by effectively analyzing situations before making decisions? Any thoughts? Basically, it means being able to do two things. Are you able to appraise the situation, where you are, what situation you are in, and when you're faced with the problem, are you able to analyze problem before you start making decisions? Now, what does appraising situation mean? It means recognizing situation, positions, conditions that require action. Now, there may be times and situations where it doesn't require any action and it's just good to sleep over them. But then you need to differentiate situations that require action. And since complexity is the theme, the complex issues you should be able to break apart, and these issues normally are overlapping and confusing. So complex issues are overlapping. You have multiple things piling on top of each other and confuses the hell out of you. So you should be able to break these issues apart and then set priorities. If you have 100 things to do and your mind is getting boggled, you must be able to set priorities in terms what would you do first and then what. And then you must be able to manage number of activities simultaneously and efficiently. Now, simultaneously is not a definition of multitasking, but you must be able to manage these activities efficiently in an orderly fashion. Now, that's the situation appraisal. Now, about the problem analysis, you must be able to find the root cause of a problem before you make a decision, so that you're sure of taking right action, corrective action that can correct the problem and prevent it from reoccurring. The emphasis is on preventing reoccurrence because that's where the problem analysis and effective analyzing of the situation comes in. So if you are able to analyze the situation, appraise the situation, analyze the problem, find the root cause, set priorities, break these issues, you could say you are effectively analyzing situation. And how do we do that? We will have one module devoted to that. So don't worry about rushing into that. The third thing is about making decisions in a timely manner, avoiding over-analysis or procrastination. So how do you do that? So what do we understand by that? So we basically, at this point of time, let us say basically it means either not doing too much analysis or not even doing anything. So if you are able to move forward, do the right amount of analysis, address the situation quickly and emphatically with the right solutions, we could say you are making decisions in timely manner, right? And lastly, what do we mean by communicating complex ideas in a manner that can be easily understood? It basically means simplifying things. When you are in the world of complexity, the only way you can do better in your communication is to simplify things. So again, breaking down your complex idea into simple ideas and communicating that can be easily understood. That's what we mean by communicating complex ideas in a manner that can be easily understood, right? Great. So what do we do next? So having looked at what do we have, what do we mean by mastering complexity through the lens of these four behaviors, so as to say, we will start looking at each of these, starting with how to thrive in uncertain circumstances. And that's what we will look at in the next module through a series of lectures and some case examples and case studies and assignments. So thank you so much for watching this first lecture where we have talked to you, we have given you an overview on mastering complexity in terms of what do we mean by mastering complexity. I hope you're beginning to learn new things, beginning to enjoy, and I do look forward to see you again in the next lecture.